welcome back, chat. Episode number 11 of the Hitters Meeting. As per usual, Coach Ken Anderson has joined me on this lovely episode. Coach Ken, how the heck are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. We won another series from the Cubs, and everything's going well. We got the best record in baseball, and overall, the Cubs have a really good pitching staff, so we were able to get 2 wins. So I'll take it, and let's move on to the Red Sox.
Yeah, the Cubs, especially the last two games, pitched really, really well. And anybody who wants to say it was the offense fault, you just didn't watch the baseball games. I don't know what else to tell you, man. Their pitchers did really, really good. So, quick pick to click review. Ken, Dom Smith absolutely raked the entire series, 5 for 9. And by the way, he had a couple flyouts to the warning track, and one of them was in game 3. Austin Riley was 3 for 11 with a bomb, so not too bad for Big Thick. I mean, he walks one more time, it's 300.
He had two to the wall, also. He almost hit two other ones out.
Yeah, PCA robbed one, and then Dansby robbed him of one too. So I mean, he could have had a really nice series at 5 for 11. So Big Thick is turning it around. It is nice to see, especially with the top three in the lineup kind of cooling off here lately. So hopefully Austin and Yaz can continue to be big pieces for us. But we're moving on to the Red Sox series. So I'll go ahead and tell you this: we don't know who's pitching for the Red Sox in Game 3. And there is some theory that it may be a bullpen game. I'm sorry, chat. We're not covering the entire Red Sox bullpen for you. I'm just not doing that at 10 o'clock at night. I'm sorry. So, what we got in game number 1, Ken, Mr. Conley early. What you got on Mr. Conley?
He's a good left-hander. He throws the ball well. The funny thing about him is a lot of left-handers like to move the ball around, get their hitters off. This is not what Conley likes to do. Conley is a tonal pitcher, so you're going to get the same kind of tonal. I hope that's what you're seeing, Ryan. And then you're just going to have to adjust on whether you're getting off speed or his fastball. He's going to try to get you on the ground, hit a lot of ground ball kind of guy. But what I see is you're going to have to really study film and try to get whether he's throwing an off speed or sinker, because he's going to throw it where you think he's going to throw it. It's going to judge in whether you're on his fastball or his off speed.
Yeah, he's a nice young left-handed pitcher. I mean, if you look at the metrics don't necessarily favor him, but he is off to a pretty nice start to start the season. So let's start with the repertoire of the young left-hander. Four-seam fastball that averages 93 to 95, but can top out at 97, as you saw there. He's got a sinker that, again, can top out 97. He's got a curveball, a slider, and a sweeper. So, right-handed hitters are mainly going to see the fastball changeup combination. He will mix in the sinker and curveball as well, but the primary pitches that he's going to try to set up is the fastball changeup tunnel. Left-handed hitters are primarily going to see the sinker sweeper with the occasional fastball curveball. So he's really going to work the sides with the lefty. So he's going to run the sinker in, the sweeper away. So for my right-handed hitters, you got to hunt the fastball changeup window. He isn't going to throw the fastball inside much. It will be more middle away and up. That's at least his target. But as you see, every once in a while, he will miss down with that pitch. I don't know if you necessarily want to chase that because he does tunnel that with the changeup pretty well, so you might want to stick with the pitch up. You want the pitch to start at the belly button to high thigh high, and from the inner third to the outer third of the plate. Anything that starts below the high thigh, take it until you get to 2 strikes. He wants you to expand on the changeup low. Make him paint the bottom of the zone consistently before you expand. And that was a big key for the Braves in Game 3 of the Cubs that they did not do. They chased a lot of breaking balls that were below the zone, and they did not make him paint his fastball down there. And that was Mr. Ben Brown, which, by the way, that's what we said he was going to do, Mr. Ken.
Yes.
Left-handed hitters approach against Mr. Conley. He is going to try to tunnel the sinker and sweeper on the outside part of the plate. So the sinker will start on the outside corner, and it's going to run back onto the plate. The sweeper is going to continue and break off the plate. So you want to hunt the sinker on the outside part of the plate. You want the ball to start around the belt to high thigh and start on the outside corner to the middle part of the plate. The only spin that you want to swing at will start at you and it's going to be belt high. Anything that starts middle or farther away from you and it starts breaking away, please take it because it's going to be a ball. Ken, that is my approach on Mr. Conley. Do you got anything else?
No, I think that's pretty spot on. You saw in a couple of those highlights when he expands, he expands. You just got to lay off the pitches, get ahead and getting good hitting counts. And then, like I said, I think you study film. I think there's tendencies with his release point. He's still a young pitcher, so hopefully the Braves will study film and hires will have him on. Look, we all notice it when there's a left-handed pitcher on the mound. We can be a little struggling until we get Ronnie back in the lineup. So that looks like that's not coming to next week at the earliest. Let's have some good approaches, and then hopefully, we're going to talk about Ozzy on the podcast, but maybe we can get a little Oz going again, and everything will correct itself.
Yeah, Ozzy's definitely been scuffling the past few series, but the main thing that I've seen there, and I know we're getting a little off topic here, but it's a hitting pod, and I like talking about hitting. He's getting out on his front foot again a lot. Like he really is lunging a lot towards the ball, and he's not staying in his back hip. I will say he had in game 3 he had 2 baseballs that should have been a base hit. One was smoked, and Dansby made a really good play. The other one was smoked to Michael Bush, who made a really good play. Like diving stops that they had to get the ball, get up, and get him out. I mean, so I'm not gonna kill Ozzy, but he definitely needs to start staying back into his back hip more and staying tall and not lunging at the baseball, let the ball come to him. So that's what I look forward to seeing him do against the Red Sox because he may be my pick to click, but you don't know yet, chat. You're going to have to wait to the end of the podcast. You don't know. Game 2, Ken. This dude is absolutely filthy, and he is a left-handed pitcher, I think.
Right.
Peyton, is he right?
I think he's right. Peyton Tolley?
Is he? No, he's lefty.
No, he's lefty. Okay.
He's left-hander.
I don't know.
He is probably. I had a hard time game playing against him, chat. I'm not even gonna lie with you. I sat and stared at the screen for a good solid 25 minutes. Took me a long time. So Ken, go ahead and dive into Peyton Tolley for me.
Don't know much about it. I asked him. He throws hard. I've not seen Peyton pitch. I wish I could be there on you. We're doing so many. This is him here. So I know that the word from the Red Sox people is he throws hard and then hard and then hard again. So, I kind of like that a little bit more than I do against the first pitcher, just because the first pitcher does throw a little bit more off speed. But they're right. One of the things they told me was that he looks like an old back 50s pitcher, and he does. He's got a big body. I'm sure and he looks like he has a little force. So you're going to be telling me a lot about him. I do like the fact that he does throw hard. I did not realize he was left-handed until you just told me. So that makes me a little hesitant. So, but we'll see. So I'm going to learn with you. But all the Boston people tell me he throws hard and then throws hard again. So I'm interested in seeing him pitch Saturday.
Yeah, they're not lying to you. It's fast, faster, fastest with him right now is basically the scouting report that I have read. So let's go into the pitch mix. Four-seam fastball, he sits at 96 to 98. I mean, he'll dip every once in a while down to 93, 94, but I mean, that's to be expected when, pitchers have off nights a little bit. Sinker, again, 95 to 96. Cutter, 89 to 91. Curveball, 82 to 84. And then he's got a changeup, which, by the way, might be his best pitch, and he doesn't throw it. His changeup can be absolutely disgusting, and he does not throw it for whatever reasons. And I want y'all to keep in mind, so he might be throwing 96 to 98. He's a big dude, and he's got probably some of the best extension in MLB. I think he was like 98th percentile in extension, so that 98's going to like 101 right now. So, and then the 91 mile an hour cutter that's going into right-handers is really 93 to 94. So, it's not just fast; it's getting on them in a freaking hurry, and they don't have a whole lot of time to make a decision. So. That's the pitch mix with him. Right-handed hitters are going to see primarily four seams and sinkers with a equal split of cutters and curveballs. And every once in a while, he'll throw a blue moon changeup. So Left-handers, they're going to see an even split between the sinkers and four-seamers as well, but the cutter is going to be his primary weapon to get the weak contact or to get the swing and miss because it's going away. He tries to paint the cutter down and away to the left-handed hitters. He attacks the top of the zone with a fastball and sinker to both right-handers and left-handers. Curveball comes out looking just like his fastball and sinker at the top of the zone, but breaks down and out of the zone, and that is his chase pitch to right-handed hitters. Cutter is the chase pitch for lefties. So, my right-handed hitters, your approach, you want to hunt the heater, period. He's going to come at you with three variations of it, and he's going to pound the top of the zone to effectively tunnel his curveball. So hunt the fastball curveball window. You want the pitch to start at the belt to high thigh and in the middle of the plate. So third to third. So that means outer third to inner third. This will keep you on the heater at the top of the zone while staying on the breaking ball that will stay in the zone. Left-handed hitters, he's going to attack you with three fastballs as well. The sinker, the four-seam, and the cutter. The four-seam will be on the outer part of the plate, top shelf. The sinker is going to start on that same tunnel, but it's going to dive back into you, and then the cutter is going to start on that same plane, and it's going to break off the plate. You want the ball to start on the outer third to the middle part of the plate, and from belt high to mid-thigh high. This is going to be a rough ride. The kid is really good, and he's got deception because he's throwing across his body. So think like Chris Sale. He's not as across his body as Chris Sale, but he does throw across his body. So every pitch looks like it's starting at left-handed hitters and way off the plate to right-handed hitters. So with that flight plane of the ball, it hides the spin really well. So it's very deceptive when he's throwing his cutter and his curveball. So Ken, we got a rough ride with this kid. You got anything else?
I just know this with the Red Sox, talking to Jeremy and them from the Yankees, you got to get into their bullpen. So both these young pitchers, let's build the pitch count up, make them throw strikes, get in their bullpen. I will say this here. I'm not as worried about a hard-throwing lefty that doesn't believe in his changeup. If he believed in his changeup, I really think we'd be in really big trouble. But if he just wants to throw hard heat, I'll take my chances with my three lefties against that fastball, and we'll see. But now, look, we all told you Ben Brown was going to be tough. We told you Parker Messick was going to be tough. We gave you the guys, so it sounds like I'm excited to watch him pitch. But I do know when you have a bullpen like the Red Sox, you got to get these guys out of there as quick as possible.
So again, if you're a hitter, you have to stay in your zone and don't go below it. If he's going to, you cannot chase the curveball that starts, mid to low thigh or knee high and then breaks down out of the zone. You got to make sure that ball's starting up above the zone or it's starting right out of the same tunnel as the fastball at the top part of the zone. And don't expand your zone. Like, you got to stay with your approach. You got to stay in that plan of attack, because if you deviate from it, as we saw with Imanaga and Ben Brown, it's going to be a long night if you're at the plate. So stay within your approach. Don't try to do too much. We're going to move on to the bullpen, Ken. We got a couple of nasty relievers. I know the bullpen overall is pretty weak for Boston, but there's two dudes in that bullpen that are nasty. And the first one we're going to talk about is Garrett Whitlock. Ken, talk to me about Mr. Whitlock.
Whitlock is a very good pitcher, and he can do about anything. He's interesting. He could be a starter if he wanted to be, but what happened was they in desperation moved him to the pen, and he throws hard. He is never going to throw the ball in the same spot. He likes to hit all four corners of his zone. He's a tough ride to me. That's the reason why you got to get these young kids off the mound and get in their bullpen, because if they pitch well and it comes down to Whitlock and the next guy we're going to talk about, Braves could be in trouble this series. Now, you may say, well, the Red Sox are struggling. Well, all the teams are doing are getting them out of there. So Whitlock and the other guy are not as much a factor. But he's going to throw the ball. He's a tough ride because he's going to spot in all four corners of his zone. So I'm interested to see what you say about him, because he's difficult. For me, I'm just going to hunt the fastball and try to drive it right back at him to have any kind of success.
He's a nasty reliever. I'm not going to lie. He has been one of the better relievers in all of baseball for the last few years, and also was really good for Team USA in the World Baseball Classics. So his arsenal is a sinker that could touch to 97, a slider. It almost is more like a 12-6 slider because it just goes straight down, and then he's got a changeup off of that as well. So he has the tunnel to the righties and he's got the tunnel to the lefties. So right-handed hitters, you guessed it, you're going to see sinkers and sliders. That's all you're going to see. Lefties, you're going to see sinkers and changeups. That's all you're going to see. So for my right-handed hitters, hunt the sinker. The sinker is going to have great movement. It can start on the outside corner and move and run all the way back towards the inner third of the plate. So you want the ball to start a little off the plate or on the outside corner. You want it to start around the belly button to mid-thigh. You want to see the ball coming back to you. If it breaks away, take it. The only slider that you should be swinging at is the one that starts at you or towards the middle of the plate, and it starts belt high. You shouldn't swing at any of the breaking balls that start on the outer part of the plate. Nothing. You shouldn't even think about it. Left-handed hitters, you're going to hunt the sinker and changeup. You want the ball to start belt high to high thigh and in off the plate to the middle of the plate. Anything that starts outer third or farther, auto take it because it's going to fall off the plate because you got the sinker running away from you, the changeup running away from you. That's why you want the ball to kind of start in off the plate or on the inside corner. The most you want to expand that region is middle of the plate. That'll keep it on the outside corner. Anything further out, you want to take it. You got to bring him into your zone. That is what I got on Mr. Whitlock, Ken.
Yeah, one of the things, real quick, is everybody sees the MLB app. You see these heat zones, red, the hitters hit good, nothing's there, they don't have anything, and then the gray, and it gets whatever. Garrett Whitlock literally can throw the ball in all four quadrants. So if you're a hitter, understand if you have a blue, light blue, cold zone, that's where your pitch is coming from Garrett Whitlock because he can hit all four quadrants. And so if I'm a hitter, I'm going to study where my weaknesses are and realize that's where he's going to throw it and be ready for pitches in that zone and try to hit them.
All right. Everybody knows the big left-hander out of the Red Sox bullpen, Ken. He's been around a long time now. Can you believe it? He broke in 2010. Here we are, 16 years later. He's been around that long already. This Chapman. Ken, what you got on Chappie?
I got to go to a game in Cincinnati with Chappie, and it was the game. If anybody remembers, Braves fans remember when they first brought him out there to start, and he was throwing the ball off the top of the behind home plate. And I was like, man, this is serious stuff. He was throwing 102, 103 miles an hour. He doesn't throw as hard anymore, but he's very effective. He's a very difficult ride. He's another one of these hard throwers. This is what makes the Red Sox series very difficult for us because their best pitchers are from the left side. Garrett's a really good pitcher from the right side, but their best stuff is coming from the left side. So we better be on. To me, you got to sit hard. And now, one thing about him, he does have some control issues sometimes. So if he's off a little tick, make sure you're taking your pitches, and because he will walk the bases for you.
That is the book on Chapman, but I will say in his Red Sox tenure, ever since for whatever reason he started trying to actually hit the glove instead of just throwing it over the plate, he has had a lot better control. So let's take a look at the arsenal. He's got a sinker that averages 98 miles an hour but can touch 101. He's got a four-seamer that averages 98 to 97 but can also touch 101. He's got a slider that averages to 85, 87, and a splitter that averages 90 miles an hour. Right-handed hitters are going to see an even split between the fastball and sinker, and they're going to see an even split in the off-speed between his slider and changeup. Left-handed hitters are going to see an even split between the four-seamer and the sinker, but will only see sliders as the secondary pitch, which makes sense because it's going away from them. So, my approach for right-handed hitters, you got to hunt the fastball and sinker. That is going to be most of your pitches that you're going to see. Get the ball to start inner third to the outer third of the plate and belt high to high thigh. Get a fastball out over the plate and don't miss it. Spit on spin unless it pops out of the hand where you can definitely tell it's a hanging slider or a hanging changeup. For the left-handed hitters, it's the same as the righties. Hunt the ball belt high and thigh high and starting on the outside corner to the middle part of the plate. You want to get the fastball and you want to get it out over the plate to get your arms extended because it's a whole lot easier getting the ball out away from you to catch up to 100 than it is coming into you at 100 miles an hour. So, and with him, he's throwing like 60-70% of his pitches are heat. I don't think you give up on the heater just to sit on off speed or even try to look for another tunnel. If you're going to go down, you're going to go down swinging at his best pitch. And if he tunnels a slider that is just absolutely disgusting, or a changeup that is absolutely disgusting, you just tip your hat. But in my opinion, he's going to come at you with the fastball, and he's going to try to beat you with his fastball. He is very proud of it, and there's a reason why he's very proud of it. So, Ken, that's what I got on Mr. Aroldis Chapman.
Spot on. We got to be ready and hunt the heater. And like I said, see where he's at. I mean, he is human. If he has off, then he overcompensates. He will walk you, even though he's been really good with Boston.
That he will. That he will. With that being said, Ken, predictions are in order. So before we get to our picks to click, I want to see what you think we're going to do this series. We got a 3-game set again. We don't know what's going on with Game 3. I'm not doing a whole bullpen breakdown for you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it. So we're going to go with what we got. Ken, what you going with?
About this series, I know Braves fans don't want to hear that, but I'm going to say we somehow are able to get the pitch counts up for either one of the two kids. And if they're going to try to throw a bullpen game, I do like us Sunday in that bullpen game, and especially if depends on whether Holmes or Perez throws the game. But I trust Bryce, and you know that. So and Strider. So I think we'll outpitch them in this series, even though it's going to be hard. They got really good stuff, and I'm going to say we take 2 out of 3.
I'm right there with you. I think you're going to split 1-1 on the two lefties that start the series because they're both tough. But I think you're going to be able to run the pitch count up on one of them. I'm not going to guarantee both of them. You're going to get one of them out of the game pretty early and get into a bullpen that is leaky. And then if they're going to a bullpen game, God bless every arm in that bullpen because it's going to be a long day for you guys against the Atlanta Braves offense. So I am going with a 2 out of 3 series victory for the Atlanta Braves. And with that being said, Ken, who is going to be your pick to click?
Mauricio Dubon. I like against hard throwers. Mauricio does the best job of spreading. He didn't do a great job tonight against Valencia. Valencia had him on, but usually he'll spread out in the box and put the ball in play. I'm not saying Mauricio's going to go yard, but maybe he'll get one of those big hits down the line with some runners on base. I'm going to go Mauricio Dubon.
I respect it. I teased it earlier. I am going with Ozzy Albies as my pick to click. He's facing 2 left-handed hitters. You're going to see a couple of bullpen arms that are going to be big-time left-handers, Chapman being one of them. I'm going with Ozzy. I think he's going to have a nice little series. He's going to be in the 3-hole. I think he starts getting a little bit more comfortable and he starts staying back and doesn't start lunging at the baseball again. I think he has a good series. I'm going with Ozzy Albies, Ken.
I like it.
But that wraps us up for this episode of the Hitters Meeting of the Boston Red Sox. If you guys like this video, please let us know what you liked, what we could do better for you guys down in the comments. That means the absolute world to me and Ken. Also, like the video if you did like it. If you didn't, you don't have to like it. That is completely your choice. But let us know what we could do better and what you guys would like to see more out of the hitters meetings. We will be taking all your ideas into consideration because we want this to be the best stuff for you guys. We want to produce good content. We just don't want to put out videos. So with that being said, Ken, I think we're out of here. We'll see you in the next series, chat.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.